Anyway, hi, and welcome back. And if you're new here, I'm Jules, and I'm designing a theme park based on urban legends in the United States. And right now, I'm actually doing a series on the graphic design process of designing a theme park. And we're on part 4. So if you want to watch any of the other parts of the series, I suggest that you do. That way, you kind of see the basis of where I started and what we're doing now, and for it to make sense just a little bit. Today, we are actually going to do stationery. And stationery is kind of all the printable things. As a graphic designer, usually this covers more corporate things like letterheads, envelopes, business cards, stuff like that. But when it comes to theme parks, I usually think of tickets, brochures, maybe VIP passes. In my last video, I actually did signage, which to a certain extent, posters could be considered stationary, but they stay under signage because they kind of have a purpose in what they do in terms of telling a story when it comes to theme park design. And when it comes to graphic design, posters don't really, they're still not stationary. They're kind of just posters or are considered advertisement. So right now, we're not going to even cover posters. Posters were last video. This video, we're going to be doing signage.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to keep you that long. So we'll just get right into it, and we'll get into the plan for what we're doing for this video. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so here's the plan. As I said before, stationery usually covers printable things, and more so in a corporate sense or business sense. So you're going to see a lot of it be more common for envelopes, letterheads, business cards, stuff like that. But obviously, we're focusing on a theme park, so we got to look at those printable items in that sense. So I usually think of brochures and tickets when it comes to printable items. And so for this, I wanted to focus on tickets. I wanted to stay away from a brochure because it's a lot of information and filler, and I also don't have a full map yet, and that's usually what the brochure has. So we're gonna stay clear of a brochure, and we're actually just gonna go into tickets because I like the idea of a ticket being novelty, because I know that nowadays modern entry tickets are not physical in terms of like a piece of paper. More so, they're either like a plastic key card. I think Universal does plastic key cards, and Disney actually does the wristbands. So it's more common that things would probably be on the phone, and we're going to cover something like that later down the line in the graphic design series. But right now, we want to have a little bit of fun, and I want to make the tickets be a novelty item. I'm going to show you my digital sketching and my thought process in that. So, yeah. All right, so I basically wanted to get right into the digital mock-ups because my physical sketches were just very like getting a silhouette or getting a shape. So I'm just kind of scrolling through some of the things that I had in terms of a silhouette and what I was thinking at first, which you'll see some of them like that top one, and then closer to the bottom, I tried this like tombstone-esque silhouette that I thought was like really interesting, but at the end of the day I kind of was like, I don't really want it to be a tear off. I think that would have been a fun interactive way of having a ticket and a very traditional look at a ticket, but we scan everything now, so I figure keep it simple, let the front be more of the let it be the art itself, and have the back just be general information in a scannable part of the ticket. When I was actually doing like inspiration or like looking for inspiration, I actually looked at a lot of museum tickets because those were actually the ones that actually had like a physicality and actually had tickets. And when it came to that kind of ticket, they did focus on something that was supposed to be it was a focus on the art that was within, or the topic that was within the museum. And more so, I was looking at art museums, so they would focus on like an actual artist's work and show that off on those tickets. So from what I could find, the tickets were very subtle and more so a way to kind of show off the area, or again, like the artist or their art in itself. So when it came to like a theme park ticket, they wanted to show off an area with like really nice images, and I kind of wanted that, and use some types of photos to showcase that area, or something that would represent Phoenix Forge. When I was putting them in digitally, I wanted to actually have more of a focus on images of the legends that would actually be in the park or be in that area. I think it almost seems as a subtle way of having it be themed within the Phoenix Forge, but also the park as a whole. And then when I was actually trying the other silhouette ones, I was actually originally thinking of having more of the silhouette of the legends. So maybe having like the head peek over, a hand peek over, ears, or just some type of silhouette. But I actually ended up trying something that had more to do with the area itself, so more architectural. But I also tried more of like the carousel, which I actually really did like. The silhouette was actually really fun. But again, that was more for later, because that's not the focus. We're focusing on Phoenix Forge. I think that this actually was a better way of going, because then it not only focuses on the cryptids and the legends, but it focuses on it allows for a focus on a tagline, which this is kind of just a way for me to like play around with something and what like I had help in putting together. So for now, this is where it sits. It might not be good, but it does what it needs to do. This was basically just kind of a look in what I do when I sketch digitally. I was using Canva just because it's just a way for formatting and using images and stuff like that. So it does what it needs to do. Okay, so when it comes to digital mock-ups, I'm always gonna go the easy route, which is getting a template and doing it this way, because then all the shadows and everything are there. It's just gonna be available. It's already gonna be built out for you, and especially when you're using a very basic silhouette or size, or just in general, like we're working with a rectangle. We're not reinventing the wheel. So it's just easier to just get a template, put it together, and that way it looks realistic, but also I think to a certain extent it makes it more refined in that it looks presentable. It's ready to go. We both know that it's a ticket. Instead of it being flat front and back. Those look like sketches to me. Again, it's just like the beginning phases of something. When you put it into a mock-up, it looks good and it looks finished. And yeah, I think the one that I'm using is actually perfect, because it's able to showcase the front and back, but also shows that there could be a variety of the tickets, which I'm not implying that there were multiple types of this ticket, but more so that I wanted to show the different sketches that I actually really liked and landed on. So that was my thought process in this. Nothing perfectly fit, unfortunately, but I think for again, where there's not, I left a little bit more of space that I could handle in order for, if it did end up something like this, there wouldn't be like important information being cut out when it came to resizing anything. So yeah, let's get into the final look of these tickets in the mock-up, and then we'll get into my final thoughts. Okay. Final thoughts. So, I do think that they're boring. That can be a good thing and a bad thing. They are very modern. And that's really what I was going for. And as much as I thought it would have been fun to do a more funky silhouette or more specific silhouette, knowing the process of printing and how these would be, I wouldn't exactly go that way. Now, that being said, we are blue sky in this entire project. That is the point of when you're first designing a theme park and you don't have the construction in the horizon, okay? You blue sky everything. Everything is up in the air and everything is up for grabs. So, I think if I were to rework these for a general ticket, I think I would have went with the ticket that had the carousel, just because I thought it was just like a more fun silhouette and actually makes them more novelty than what I ended up with. On the other hand, I also had other ideas when it came to actual like printable pieces. But I really struggled in finding a way of having that fit technically in the narrative of Phoenix Forge. So I did sort of play around with like event paper bracelets, and I also had an idea for like the 3D paper glasses, but they weren't, I don't think they really fit, which is discouraging. But I actually do like the simple look, and it also brings in the tagline and leaves the ticket to do what it needs to do. I think showcasing the cryptids and the urban legends is better off, because I feel like what I've been doing so far has really focused on like the outside look and the architecture look and the historical look, rather than what is actually in the park that makes it entertaining. So I like the representation. Using the images that I did, I think again they did the trick, but I think having better pictures and more specific pictures rather than royalty free pictures would be better off. But again, we're working within the budget, within our limited access to things, and making sure that it still comes across as what it needs to be. So overall, I like them. I think that they do what they need to do, and I enjoy the process of like mocking things up and having them look realistic, because then it almost seems tangible that they will be available. I might rework the other like playful things when it comes to the stationery and post them later. There will probably be like extra still images along with the tickets that I actually reworked in order to like have like a little more things and far along than just like ticket. Okay. All that being said, the final mock-up and all the other things that I plan to do will be somewhere on my social, so that you'll get to see them as they are rather than just like a few seconds in this video. I want to say a huge thank you, huge, big, huge, wonderful thank you to my beautiful folklore enthusiasts for not only supporting me, but supporting this channel and supporting even this crazy idea that there is a possibility of Urban Legends America theme park to be like in existence. I think that's crazy, and but I appreciate that you're delusional just like me. Another big thank you to the Absinthetic Orchestra for supplying all my music in my videos. If you like what you're hearing and want to check out what else they have, I will put all the links in the description below that you guys can get your grubby little hands on. And with that being said, if you lasted this long into the video, and you like this video, please consider giving it a like. And if you want to see what else I'm doing, or you just enjoy what I'm doing, also please consider subscribing. So if you want to peruse the channel, you are more than welcome. And so with that being said, I'll let you to it. So I'll see you later, because I have to go too, because I have some plans that I have going on. So I love this and I love seeing you, and I've missed you. So like this has been really fun. I really enjoy our talk. So I will see you later. Bye. No, go. No, you have to go. No, I have things. You're busy. I'm busy. We are busy. We got things to do. So I'll see you later. No, no. Bye. Bye. No, bye. Bye. Yeah. Bye.